everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellie if you've never been here before, and on this channel I upload whatever I want. I did not plan on vlogging today, but I just feel like I have to. If you've been here since Vlogmas or beforehand this past fall, winter, like November, December, actually, let me rewind a little bit. If you haven't been here in a while or you don't know me personally, then you wouldn't know that I have ADHD. And that's not just a quirky saying. I actually have been diagnosed with ADHD, and a big trait that has been manifested, or that manifests itself through ADHD, is I tend to have a lot of hobbies, but I'm embracing this one. I really am, and I'm doing my best. I go a lot more in detail about it in my Vlogmas videos, specifically the one where I don't know exactly what day it is, but if I figure it out, I'll link it up. No, I'll link it up here. It'll be linked up on this side. That one, I purchased a lot of thrifted secondhand fabrics to one day hopefully sew something out of. And then the one that I link right here is me when talking about my ADHD and kind of how, I don't know, when I'm picking up new hobbies, I need to be very mindful of if they're gonna be like long lasting and how much money actually goes into them. So specifically with sewing, just in general, not just me, it can be a little bit of a wasteful hobby. Scraps get thrown away, just constantly buying new fabric when there is a lot of fabric out there that can be purchased. So a big thing about me is I'm trying to be as sustainable as possible, especially at the start, because who knows how long I'm going to actually keep up with sewing. However, there has been a little bug in my brain about sewing since, like, I don't even know exactly the date, but it has been for at least a few months now, and I haven't started. But Ryan and I are on our way to go, say hi. Ryan and I are on our way to go pick up a sewing machine that I found on Facebook Marketplace. It's not a super extravagant machine, I don't think, but I think that's what I need for my first and probably only sewing machine. I don't think I need anything with too much going on. So we're on our way to go pick that up from like an estate sale thrift shop, and I'm super excited for that. And you guys are gonna see this video after my best friend Ryan's birthday, because I'm going to sew her a birthday gift. I found this fabric that she really likes and it's her favorite color. I'll show you all of this later on, but I'm going to make her a few handmade goodies for her birthday. So I'm super excited. Her birthday is coming up, so let's see how much time I actually have to put this together. Her birthday is in a week and a half, so I definitely need to get this project started, but I'm super excited to start. And then why not just show you a couple of the other things that I am planning on doing with things that I have. So this is my first ever sewing vlog. It's my first time sewing ever, and I just wanted to take you along with me. Before I start anything, before I pick up anything, I do want to say Chessie on YouTube, I've been subscribed to her for years now for different reasons, but lately she has like made a channel pivot. I think I talked about this during Vlogmas too, but she has become a sewist, and she actually has a small business of like upcycling vintage fabrics and just making things out of them. And I just love, like, I have watched every sewing vlog that she has come out with since, every sewing video. But the other day she posted a YouTube short, and it was like, this is your sign to, I think it was like, this is your sign to learn how to sew and have like an upcycling business, something like that. And I'm not taking that as like inspiration to start a business at this point in time, but it did really inspire me to actually figure out what I need to sew a gift. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Let's go get the machine. Fingers crossed that it fits the description. right, guys, that was a bit of a bust, if I do say so myself. Sewing machine didn't have a pedal. That was not on the listing. That was not on the listing, and I doubt the person knows. We still got some things. Is that car pink? We still got some things. I got some pins and I got some fabric, which I will show you whenever I get home. We should have recorded the other pins. There was some pins in there, guys, being stored in a used, what are those even called? Urine sample container. And they tried to rip the label off, but they didn't rip the full thing off. So the person's name is still on there. Christine, why would you do that? Anyways, we're gonna make a quick stop at Joann's. Hopefully we're not in there for too long. I need thread. And they had a few little, like, what are those called? Spools. They had a few spools of thread, but there was like a lot of neon colors, and I just don't want to get something that I don't really need at this moment. So I'm just going to get some just probably white or cream colored thread. And then I need batting or interfacing. To be honest, I don't know the difference. I don't know the difference. I need to learn still. We did end up ordering, I say we, it's me, but Ryan's with me, so I'm saying we. I did end up ordering a mat that I saw on Amazon that is lightly used. And I also ordered a sewing machine that has been refurbished, but apparently it's in excellent condition. And it's the same one that I saw at the estate sale store, but we looked up the price of a pedal and it was like about $20. So the $50 plus the $20 would have ended up being about the price that I paid for the sewing machine itself, the refurbished one. So I just went that route, and it'll come in a couple weeks. So I am gonna have to use my sister-in-law's sewing machine that looks super complex and advanced. But Ryan has used it once, haven't you? Didn't you have to use it for something?
Yeah.
And his brain is a lot better at following instructions. I get overwhelmed super easily. So he is going to kind of show me the first part of it. Like, we've even watched videos together, but like, I'm just overwhelmed just thinking about it. So he's gonna help me with that part, but we're gonna get started on that project probably this weekend, because I mean, my bestie's birthday is in a week and a half. That project needs to get done. All right, guys, so we're at Joann's.
Has anybody Joann's look like it hasn't been changed in 200 years?
Why are you calling me? No, but seriously, does anybody's Joann's look like this? Like super vintage? Hi guys, it's the next day. I think I'm going to actually start sewing. I have like a few hours until I need to leave because I'm gonna go watch a movie tonight. I will still show you a haul of everything I got. Actually, I'll just do that first right now. This is everything that I got yesterday. So I found this pattern here, which all that I'm showing you right now needs to be washed still, but there's actually quite a bit of this fabric, but it's just like this, hold on, let me adjust the lighting. It's just like this blue, almost like, it's like a periwinkle color with pinstripes on it, white pinstripes. So I don't know, this still might go with the blue blanket, but it is pretty blue, so I don't know, we'll see. But I'll make something with this fabric here. And then I also found this red gingham. This is gingham, right? I think so. How precious is this? I found this at the same thrift store, and there's actually quite a bit of it. So I'm excited to make something with this. I don't know what yet, but I'm going to make something with it. I'm saving this. I feel like this is a fabric that I'm really going to want to save. I also found this white fabric. It reminds me a lot of the tablecloth fabric that I got a different time, but it has like this sheen to it. And what are those, flowers? Yes, it has like a floral texture to it. I don't know if you could see it very well. I think this was like a tablecloth that someone maybe cut up. There's like a stain at the bottom, but obviously I'll just cut that off. But yeah, that's that one. I feel like you can always use like white with some texture. I feel like it I don't know, it breaks up the space of all the patterns. I also just got this white fabric, like this is just white. So then I found this scrap of purple fabric, and it's like this pretty lilac lavender color, so this will be fun to use. I also found this I don't even know exactly what this is, but it's like a Christmassy winter tablecloth or table runner that I'm going to use for sure. I don't know yet what I'm gonna use it for, but I just couldn't pass it up. And then the last thing I got fabric wise was this little scrap of this white fabric, but it has little tiny purple flowers on it, so I thought that was a cute one. It also goes well with this purple one, so maybe I can make something out of this, and I feel like that would be fun. I don't have any pins yet, so I literally just got this little jar of pins. Then we went to Joann's and I got 2 yards of this quilt batting. This is what I'm going to use in the bag to give it some more structure, but also to make it have the quilt look to it. The thread was on sale. It was buy 3 get 2 free, right?
Yeah. So
I got 2 white, or no, I got 1 white one, and then I got this white one. They're both white, but this one's like a more cool tone, this one's a warmer tone. I got this beige one, this light blue one, and I think I'll save this for when I make my blue quilt, and this black one. So I have all these spools of thread. I got this zipper for the bag. This is from the Coats & Clark brand, and this is in the color, does it say on here? I don't even think it says, but this is a 12-inch one, which is the one I need. But it's kind of like a beige color. I didn't want to go with something like super stark, like white or black, but I feel like this actually looks pretty good. Then lastly, I got these water-soluble pencils, and I'm going to use this to make quilt lines on this fabric here, so I can follow the lines to quilt. But first, before we get into anything, my husband Ryan cut a scrap of a shirt, and I guess I'm gonna sew on that. I'm scared. I'm actually really scared. I've never done this before. I think I flew too close to the sun with this hobby. This is like actually like something that requires skill. If my sewing machine is this heavy, it's a permanent establishment on my desk. Oh my gosh, this is a fancy one. Guys, look at this display. Hello? It has a light and everything. Guys, that took forever. That took forever. We have the machine threaded, we believe. And now I'm going to just sew. I'm scared. I'm really scared.
Why are you scared?
How fast am I supposed to go?
It has to start the...
Wait. How do you back stitch? Where's the back?
The back, it's this one, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, you hold it? Yeah. These are gonna be Ryan's new underwear.
Not me, Ryan. That's for sure.
Yeah, it is. Guys, I think it's time. Ryan helps me out a lot, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm ready to just start, I think. So I'm gonna start with cutting out all of my fabric. Just for funsies, I wanna show you the blues that I've been collecting that I think eventually I'm gonna work my way up to make a puff quilt out of. Here is that stack. I'm not gonna show you every single thing, but it's my pride and joy right now. Whenever I do make a puff quilt, I'll make a video for sure, and you guys will see all of these fabrics up close. Chessie uploaded a YouTube short on how to make a coaster, a fabric coaster, and apparently it's like one of the easiest things. So I'm gonna use this scrap fabric that I found, which all of this fabric that I have purchased back during Vlogmas days has all been washed and ironed. The only thing that hasn't are the ones that I collected yesterday, but I'm not gonna really be using those. I'm not really going to be using those today, so it doesn't really matter. But, oopsie. Well, actually, no. I need to cut out all my fabric for the bag, and then whatever's left, I'm going to use to make the coaster. It has been a long evening in this household, okay? All of the stuff has been cut out. So, this is the front panel. There is also quilt batting, pretty much now sewn to it because I've sewn a line. I'll show you. And then also the inner lining. I was kind of following 2 different tutorials, which I know is not good. And one of the tutorials used 2 sets of each. So 2 sets of batting, 2 sets of lining, 2 sets of the top fabric, this. So I cut out 2 and it took me and Ryan forever. And then I started watching the actual tutorial that I was gonna just follow for the rest. And it's only 1 panel. So I kind of just have all of this extra and I'm gonna keep it just in case this one doesn't work out. But I decided to quilt in 3-inch squares. I don't know why I went with 3. You can kind of see it. I used these water soluble pencils to make the lines. So I sewed 1 line. You can kind of see in the batting here, but I sewed 1 line and I still have the rest to go this way and then also this way. And by the end of it, there will be 3-inch squares in the panel. I tried to sew this coaster and it didn't go very well. I don't think the fabric that we cut is big enough. Luckily, I just used scrap fabric that I don't really care about that much and only 4.5 inches of batting, so it's not like super crazy. So as you can kind of see, the edge isn't really sewn here. I need to practice sewing straight lines as well. And then we just decided to use it to practice or like just check out some of the stitches. So we put Ryan's name here and then we used the bow stitch. You can't really tell very well, but we used a bow stitch here and a bow stitch here. And then we also just checked out some of the quilting stitches. So this is one of those. This is just kind of trash, to be honest. But then I pinned the panels together. So this is going to be hopefully Ryan's bag, but if I mess up, it'll be mine. And then I'll use the extra panel that we used to make a second one that's better, hopefully. My personality wants to be a perfectionist right now. I want to be able to do this with no hassle. And so far it's been a little bit of a hassle, but it's been fun. I'm excited to see the finished product, I think, but it's a lot right now. Hello guys, it's the next day and I have something to show you. I added quilt lines into this panel. So as you can see from the back, all the squares, I stitched all of these lines. I still need to go in with a wet cloth and remove all of the quilt lines that I added. But I am honestly very happy with the result of this panel. And I just think it's gonna be, I do think that I did the easiest part, even though that was very hard for me, but I'm excited to see what it will look like after, because it will look something, I mean, not really like this, but this is the panel that's gonna be on the outside. All right, it's the next night, and I wanna show you guys the progress that I have. It doesn't look good up close, so please don't look too closely. You can actually, from far away, tell that this is kind of uneven. But it's okay. It's my first big project ever. But this is the outside, obviously. It is flipped inside out right now because I am going to be basically making it into the actual bag. So the tutorial that I'm following, I almost wish I just didn't land on this tutorial and I found a totally different tutorial because she's kind of missing some steps and I'm now going back into the fabric that I have. So I have the big tablecloth right here and this lining fabric that I'm using right now. I'm gonna cut out a 12 by 8 centimeter piece of the outer fabric that I'm using, which is literally a tablecloth. This is kind of like the loop that you can like hold the bag by, even though you really wouldn't do that. But. And then I also needed to get this fabric out because apparently I need to make bias tape out of it. So I had to get the white fabric out. Okay, update. I sewed the little strap thing. So now you guys can maybe know what I'm talking about. This is going to go on the outside. It gets closed, but not like zipped all the way up because you still need to be able to open the bag. Which Ryan, I saw a video, or not a video, a comment on this video of someone who didn't unzip it and they sewed it like this. And so they couldn't open it.
Oh.
It's not funny, I'm laughing because I think that would be me. And so because of that, I've internalized that comment and I now have it unzipped, okay? I'm gonna pin this entire edge and I'm also gonna pin this one. And then I'm gonna sew straight across, and then that is when I'm gonna start cutting more fabric for the bias tape. Update! The edges are now hemmed, if that's the right word. So before I even box the corners, let me make sure that this still looks fine. The next thing, I'm gonna watch the video again, but the next thing is to box the edges, and that's the last thing. I'm pretty sure. So basically, I think what it is you open it like this or something. I'm gonna see right now. But you stitch across whatever corner it is. You stitch across all of them. And then you cut above the seam. And then when you open it, the corner should be boxed. Because if not, it's just flat like this, just with the green on the outside. So far, there are no raw edges, which I just realized I'm gonna actually, that's not the last thing, because when I cut, it's gonna make a raw edge and I have to do this again. But this was probably one of the easiest parts. It doesn't look amazing, but it was one of the easiest parts of this entire project. But I'm worried because when I make the corners, I feel like it's just gonna be so thick, and that's what's making this sewing machine skip some stitches. Okay, I watched the video. Basically, this is the bag. You take the corner and you press down so it pops out the corner like this, okay? And yes, I'm using binder clips, okay? They've actually been very helpful. And then you measure from the corner to down the center, and you mark where 6 centimeters is, like this, and then you sew across that line. Hi guys, kind of long time no see. Not really, it's been a few days, but I am back to make the second version of this bag. This version I will keep, I think, for myself, but we're gonna workshop it because it is just not exactly what I want it to be. I actually never even finished it. I'm gonna do that right now. I went to Joann's, which rip Joann's. Throughout the process of making this video, we have learned that Joann's is no longer going to be with us soon. But I went today and my Joann's was crazy. Everyone and their mother was there, and their child. A bunch of people had children in there. And I was gonna look around, but it was so chaotic that I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get what I need. And I got another zipper. I actually just picked up 2 because I'll probably need another one at some point, and I don't wanna go back. I live kind of far from my Joann's, so. I have spoken to my best friend Ryan, who is going to be the recipient of this gift. And I'm gonna see her a couple days after her birthday, but I still want to have this gift done by that day. Okay, so it does open up the bag a little bit more and give a little bit more room, I think. I guess what I'm gonna really make sure on this second bag that I make is that all of the angles are symmetrical, especially this one. This one looks rough on this side. It doesn't look terrible, especially for the first thing that I've ever sewn. This looks fine. But I'm also going to hem the, or I guess not hem, but I'm gonna put like bias tape, is that what it's called, on these raw edges to make them look a little bit smoother, but the bag does look good on the inside. See, like, it's not bad. It's also just not perfect. And I want it to be better. So as long as the next one is better, then I'll feel good about it. I just took hours on quilting this panel. I will say I'm happier with it than the other one. I'm glad that I went with the small squares. I did 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters and I do like the look of it a lot more. However, my bobbin ran out in the middle of one of the stitches, which shouldn't be that big of a deal, but for some reason it messed with the tension and it messed with the like stitch length, I guess, and it was a hot mess. Now I know when people are like, the worst thing to ever happen to me is the bobbin running out of thread. It is the worst thing to happen, I think. Hi guys, excuse my appearance. I took a shower a couple hours ago and I immediately started working on this because I need this bag to be ready. I'm gonna be seeing Ryan tomorrow. We're gonna actually hang out all day, but I just did the most tedious step of this and I feel kind of bad for you guys because I have not really been vlogging. I've just been super hyper focused on making this bag tonight. I'm still not completely done, so you might see some loose threads and some of the water soluble quilting pen, but I'm trying to box out the edges right now. So I can already tell that this isn't perfect, but here it is. I think it's just me, honestly, especially on this side, I think, which maybe that can be fixed if I just do a longer stitch. So I'll look into that. I'm actually gonna clip it, but this looks so much better than this one that I just have sitting over here. Let me try to give this one as much justice as I possibly can, but I can already tell that my second one is so much better. I really took a lot more time with it. I was more patient. We messed with the settings on the machine as well. And this one is like impossible to fully box out because of how asymmetrical the corners are. It just feels so much more floppy and less sturdy. And even though I'm using the same exact materials for this one, it just looks so much more boxed out. I also love this little, I don't know, whatever this is called, because I don't think you would actually use it, but it's more for looks. I do like this one more than this one. I just feel like this one is too thick. I don't really like the way that it's sewn on. There's just thread everywhere. So I'm actually pretty happy with this. I'm gonna workshop this little corner and then I'm going to cut them all, and the last thing is to just hem all of these corners. So I just wanted to give you guys that little update because we are so close to being done. So I'm gonna try to fix this little corner and hopefully not do too much damage, but I'm happy with the rest of the bag so far. So I'm excited to show you the actual finished product. I actually think I fixed it just by using my own 2 brain cells. I literally just I went in and re-measured the corners, and I was like, technically if I bring the stitch, actually let me just show you on the one that I did it on. I don't know if it's gonna be too bright, but maybe you'll be able to see. If I bring the original stitch down, wouldn't that make it taller, right? It would make the box a lot taller. So I did that and it evened out so much. I'm done and I'm so happy with it. I love it. I love it so much. I'm so glad that I ended up doing another one because it just really does not compare. This one does not compare to the boxiness of this. It looks so good. The hems on the inside aren't perfect. There are no raw edges. Everything has been hemmed, as you can see, just not well. But I was really worried about sewing too close. The hems would look better if I sewed closer to the edge, but I was worried about how I would lose my boxiness, so I just sewed right on top of the seams that I already had. So the hems don't look perfect on the inside, but there are no raw edges, and I love it and I'm so happy. Of course it's not perfect. I honestly don't even want to point out all of the imperfections I feel like I have, and if I keep pointing them out, I'm just gonna start to hate it myself. But I can't believe I sewed this. Like it was so much fun. It took hours upon hours upon hours, as you can see, a lot of trial and error, but I'm very, very happy with it, and I don't know, I love the little changes that I made, like the smaller quilting boxes. I think that it looks so much better. I really truly love it, and I'm so excited to give it to her tomorrow. I'm nervous, but I know she's not gonna like notice any of the imperfections. She might be vlogging, so if she ends up vlogging and recording her opening this, then you might see her reaction in her video. If her video comes out before this one, I will link it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching my first Cozy Hobby vlog that I've ever made. It was definitely sewing focused. In the future, I'm hoping to do more just glimpses into all of my hobbies, but this one was definitely just like my first time sewing something, my first sewing project, and I'm very proud of myself. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you like me, then subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!